Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Term 2, ENG 107. My name is Jackie Pierce. Hopefully, you've already met me in my other video. But this will be the first of 8, what I like to call my weekly walkthrough videos. And at the beginning of each week, I will touch base with you and let you know what's happening this week, what you need to be working on, et cetera, et cetera. I will also encourage you, starting in week 2, to tune in on Tuesday evenings, if at all possible, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be doing a weekly seminar, a weekly check-in, and I actually host those. So you would be meeting with your own instructor, but we'll go over the assignments live and in person over Teams. But that will give you a chance to ask live questions and interact in a real-time space as well. But for those of you who can't make it, not a big deal. They are recorded and those recordings will be shared. But of course, you will also have the benefit of having the walkthrough video in advance. Typically, those are posted either Sunday night or sometimes on Monday, like it is today. So just keep in mind that those will be available to you throughout the term. And what we will do is actually look at the course. So I'm going to open the course up. And I'm also opening Microsoft Word. So currently you're seeing a Microsoft Word window, but we'll get to that in a minute. In the meantime, let's go first to the course. And what I've done is I've turned on what's called student preview mode. So what you see now on the screen is what you should see when you log in to our course in Blackboard on your own. Sometimes with the instructor's view, there's all kinds of extra stuff and it's a bit confusing. So I always like to give you the view that you will see. So as you can tell, and hopefully you've already been on the course, it opens automatically to the announcements page. And so throughout the 8 weeks, there will be these announcements and others throughout for various and sundry things. And then you have the main navigation window, which is over on the far left-hand side. It is important that you get familiar with Blackboard and how it works because, of course, you're going to be taking courses that are set up roughly the same way throughout your online education at Post University. You will notice that on the left-hand margin, you will see links for course announcements, which of course you're already on that page. But if you clicked on that page when you were somewhere else, it would bring you back. Course information, which you should review this week. This is kind of the, startup. Course information is kind of the equivalent of if you were sitting in a classroom and I handed you a syllabus to go over. It's basically the same thing. You've got Meet Your Instructor, which of course is where you find out how to contact me, when I'm available, all of that good stuff. You should always check those out early in the terms. You have a link for a discussion board that is called Ask the Instructor, and that's exactly what it sounds like. It's a place for you to ask questions. However, I want you to keep in mind that it is a discussion board, which means that it is visible not only to you, but to all the students in this same section of ENG 107. So do not use that Ask the Instructor for what I would call private questions. If you have a question about your own grade on a particular subject, like on a particular assignment, or if you have a question about you've been sick and you missed something or whatever, those kinds of questions you should send to me in my email because the rest of the class don't need to know your business. Okay. So, but Ask the Instructor is a very handy tool because a lot of times, if you have a question about something, chances are your classmates do as well. So I do encourage you to use the Ask the Instructor discussion board. In fact, I'll open it so you can see what it looks like and you can see how to create a thread, which is what we call it. When you want to ask a question, you click on Create a Thread. You would put in a subject, how to ask public questions. Okay. And then you will be able to type down here in the box. Now, you can add photos, you can make it bold, you can make it large, you can change colors, you can do whatever you want. There's all these little editing tools, but for the most part, people just type a question. So how can I find Miss Pierce's email if I have a private question. Okay. So, and of course, you would find that under the Meet My Instructor information. So I will put that in here as well. Meet the instructor. Okay. So, and then when you're ready to submit it, all you have to do is click on the submit button and it will now be in the discussion board. The other thing you will probably want to do in this discussion board is click on this subscribe button. Subscribe means that every time somebody posts, including me answering questions, you would get an email in your post-student email. So it's a good idea to have a subscription to this particular discussion board. You may or may not want to do that with the normal weekly discussion boards, but you can as well. That's what that means. Subscribe will send you a message every time somebody posts something. Okay. Here's the link to the workshops, English 107 workshops, and it's got the time. Again, it's 7 p.m. Eastern, and it is weeks 2 through 7. So we don't have one this week, and we don't have one in the final week of class, but we have them all the way through the rest of the term. Below that, you will find the work. Okay, so in an online class, things are organized in this particular case into what we call units. And you will notice that there are 8 units in 8 weeks. So 1 unit per week. We may as well, we could just call them weeks just as easily, but they are termed units. And the way that you want to proceed through each unit is to click on it and do everything in the order that it appears on this sheet. Okay, so you will always start out with an overview, which you should read carefully. It's got the objectives that we're going to meet this week, as well as the activities that you need to do. And of course, review the course information page. I mentioned that. Download or save the course syllabus that you will get in the course information page. You're going to introduce yourself in the discussion forum, which we will look at here before we leave. You're going to read, view, and engage with the readings and resources. And one thing I will point out is that normally those two things are going to be reversed because you need to do the readings before you use the discussion board for the week. First week's a little bit different because it's really just introducing yourself. But normally you're going to do the readings and resources first, then complete the 2 assignments. Okay. And there's usually 2. This week, you're going to review, view, and engage the readings and resources, and then complete and submit the Unit 1 interactive. And you will notice that down in the readings and resources, there's an interactive assignment. Those are not graded. Those are for you to double check how you're learning and everything. And so you will want to do those, but you don't have to worry about a grade on those. You will get grades for 2 things this week: the Unit 1 discussion board, The Power of You, which is all about you, and then the Unit 1 journal. We will have several journal assignments throughout the weeks. So let's take a look at them in order, because again, the way that the courses are set up, everything is in the order that you should do them. So this week, we're going to do the discussion first. Typically, it will not be first, the readings and resources will. So this course is designed to focus on different topics and subjects that matter to you. We are constantly interested in finding out things that matter to our students. So in your initial response, tell the class a little about yourself and share 3 items that are meaningful to you. Explain why you chose those 3 items. Then share your writing story. And there are 3 questions to kind of help guide you. How much writing have you done before coming to this class? How comfortable are you with writing? What is one question you have about writing that you hope to have answered in this course? When you have submitted your own, you can then respond to others. And so typically you're going to be required to respond to 2 or more students each week. This week is a little bit different. You're not required, you're just encouraged. And it's good to build the habits early. But so notice that there are really 2 parts to this discussion. One is introducing yourself and things that matter to you. And then the other one has to do with writing. Okay, so there's really 2 things. I would expect to see 2 paragraphs from everybody. because there's two separate things. So when you're ready to post your response, you will click on the link, and just like we did before, you're going to create the thread. In this particular case, intro to me, and I'm going to give you some information here. Hi, this is your instructor. Oops, I can't spell today, sorry. 3 things that matter to me are my dogs, and there's 3 of them, so I could just stop there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to count them as 1. Disney World. I am a Disney pass holder. I live in Orlando, and you can see I'm already wearing my Mickey Mouse Halloween gear because I'm channeling October and August. And my gym. I love my gym. Okay, now I would like your paragraph to be a little bit longer, but I don't want to spend hundreds of hours on here, having you watch me type. But so introduce yourself, 3 things that matter to you, and then your writing story. My writing story goes back to my first college English class, where I had greatest, instructor. Okay, again, you will write more than this, but I do not want you to just watch me type. So I'm going to abbreviate this. And then, of course, as we did before, when you are ready to post it, all you have to do is click on submit. You can save a draft and then come back to it. So if you ever find yourself, being distracted and you want to wait, you certainly can. It's entirely possible to do that. And then when you come in to the assignment, you will see this post and any others that have already happened. When you want to read one of them, you click on the little title. You'll notice it's blue, so it's traditionally like a link. And then if you're replying to your classmate or to me, you click on the reply button, and you'll notice it's exactly the same setup. You type in your response, reply here, smiley face, and click submit. So then when you go back to the forum, you will notice that there are 2 posts now attached to that one. So if you reply to someone else, it keeps your response attached to theirs. And so when you reply to others, you want to do that. But when you are making your own post, you will use the create thread button. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Now we would be ready to do the readings and resources. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of these with you, but I do want to point out kind of what to expect each week. You will always have sort of an overview, a Unit 1 takeaway in this case. Then we have the links to the readings and resources. You will notice there are 2 chapters that you're going to read out of the textbook, which is completely online, completely available through here. You don't have to go anywhere else to get it. 1 on grammar, 1 on punctuation. Below that, you are going to read an article by Carol Dweck. This is going to be really important because it's going to influence your writing of your first journal entry. So you definitely need to read that before you do the journal entry. Again, they're in the right order. Then you have 2 videos. We have growth mindset and grit. These are important concepts. And again, these videos will help you when you go to create your journal entry. All right. When you're ready for that, go back to the unit, and we are going to click on the link. Notice it's underlined. You have journals. They are to be 6 or more sentences each time, and they need to address the questions that are provided. So journaling is a relaxed, reflective assignment that allows you to practice writing and apply what you have learned in the lesson. Every other week, you will be asked short series of questions on a specific topic. Your task is to think about the questions and write down your thoughts about about those in 6 or more sentences. There are no right or wrong answers, and these are not graded for perfection. These are just graded for, did you answer the question? So in this particular week, you're going to focus on, what is your first reaction when things get tough? What does this help you understand about yourself as a learner? And when was a time you showed grit and it paid off? When you are ready to post, you click on the link and it will open a box for you. Use the function above to add one. So you'll notice it's just in the same spot where create thread is on the discussions. You will create your journal entry. You will give it a title, and you will write your entry here and click on post. All right. You'll see a preview of it when you are done. That's how you'll know that it was done correctly. That's it. That's week 1 in a nutshell. Okay. We're not going to necessarily look at Microsoft Word this week. I had it open because I couldn't remember for sure, but we will take a look at it in Unit 2. If you want to go ahead and start getting used to using Word as your tool, you can definitely look into the setup for our formal writing assignments under the APA 7th edition link. You will notice that if you click on that, here is a title page template. So you can actually create the document using the template. Very, very helpful stuff. But we'll talk about that when your first formal writing assignment is due. In the meantime, if you have any questions this week, you can reach out, of course, by Ask the Instructor or by my email. Everybody take care, and I will see you next Monday.